What's going on, YouTube? This is Jim Afanis, aka Viper Magic, and today I want to talk to you about the death of Konami. Now, it's no big surprise what's been going on in the news. I'm going to give you a little different spin on it, so hear me out. If we go back to some of the games that Konami has had a hand in since the mid 80s, Castlevania, Contra, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle side scrolling game, which we spent way too long playing as kids, Blades of Steel, Double Dribble. Then they got into some of the modern stuff with Super Contra, some of the better Castlevania games, Silent Hill, Metal Gear Solid, Pro Evolution Soccer, Track and Field, and then the classic Frogger. These are a lot of games. This is nothing to be ashamed of on this list, and I would argue that Metal Gear Solid is one of the best gaming franchises of all time. Not saying it's the best, it's definitely on that list. Silent Hill is a pretty good game. We were all very excited with the reboot of it coming, but that's not working out. So in the past year or so, let's take a look at what Konami's been up to, and it's unfortunately not much. I was actually really surprised going back and digging through the list of Castlevania titles from 2007 and on. Order of Shadows, the Dracula X Chronicles, Order of Ecclesia, Judgment, The Arcade Rebirth, Encore of the Night, Harmony of Despair, Lords of Shadow, Mirror of Fate, and Lords of Shadow 2. All these games have something in common. I've never heard of them. Okay. Now, that's not to say that there aren't good Castlevania games out there, because there are. There's some really, really good ones. But my point is, they're not mainstream like they used to be. And I went through the Metacritic and looked at a lot of the reviews, and they're not great. They're all in the mid 50s to low 70 range, which isn't like blockbuster by any means. You have not heard of a Castlevania game as a game of the year in forever, as far as I've been around. It's just, they've kind of fallen off on that franchise. Silent Hill took a break, and that's why everyone was excited when we got to try the PT, the playable trailer or playable teaser, which came out during E3. We eventually found out that it was starring Norman Reedus. It was going to be a Hideo Kojima and Del Toro masterpiece put together. These two great minds, a great horror film director and a great video game designer coming together. And PT had some amazing moments in it, things that I think a lot of us were really blown away by, and we were yearning more. You got Norman Reedus' stock, which is through the roof, put him in the game, and you are just lock, stock, and barrel for an amazing, amazing experience. Unfortunately, that didn't work out because Kojima announced that he was leaving. Now, whether he left or he got fired is really irrelevant. The fact is he's not going to be around after Metal Gear Solid 5. And Konami announced that the Silent Hill project has been scrapped. So we're out of Silent Hills, which is very unfortunate. After Metal Gear Solid 5, I'm sure Kojima's going to go off and do something else. I know he's teased retirement in the past. If this is it for him, he's left his mark on the gaming community as a whole, and I think he has nothing to be ashamed of if he walks away. But look at what happened when he wasn't a part of a Metal Gear game. Look at what Metal Gear Revengeance was. Was it a great game? Maybe. I don't know. I played the demo and I wasn't blown away. I think a lot of us weren't really blown away, to be honest with you, and that's the problem with Konami. They're just kind of there. Yeah, you get this spike in an amazing Metal Gear game that everybody's hyped up about, but short of that, they just kind of hang out, they go through the motions. So when I heard that Kojima was leaving, and I heard that Silent Hill was finally canceled, and Metal Gear is on its sunset flight, or whatever you want to call it, it's on sunset, it's done after this, what's left for Konami? Now, they announced today that they're going to be pulling their stock out of the New York Stock Exchange. I don't see this as a big deal, and I'll tell you why. If you look at Konami's stock, it's primarily owned by Asia and Europe. Less than 1% is owned by here in the States, so I don't feel like it's their back strategy. Now, they did announce that they're not going to be doing their revenue meetings in English, but again, I believe that that's kind of tied into that because we have such a small audience here who actually invests in Konami stock. It's a waste of time. But I think Konami is exiting the video game world, and I think the writing's been on the wall. If you look at the quality of products they've made, you look at where the company is going in the future, and there's really nothing to sink your teeth into that says, man, Konami is the company. So to me, rest in peace, Konami. You guys had an amazing run. I hope that you guys sell off Contra to another company, because Contra was amazing. I'd love to see a Ninja Turtles reboot. I hope the Metal Gear Solid franchise goes well without Hideo, but I am not holding my breath. Silent Hill or some sort of horror game would be amazing. And who knows, maybe Hideo goes to another company and gets up together with Del Toro and they end up making an amazing game after all. We just don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. The title screen will not say Konami. Mark my words, 2015 is the death of Konami in games. And a little part of me died inside because I got to admit, I think they were amazing. So Konami, thank you guys for the great memories. I don't know what the hell happened to you guys over the last year, but Godspeed. I hope you make a lot of money wherever else it's going to be, but unfortunately it's not going to be from this guy. What I want to hear from you guys is your comments. Do you guys think the way I do? Do you think Konami's going to blow us off the water at E3 and they're going to come out with some amazing game that we never saw coming? Or is it Konami's swan song? Let me know in the comments below. As always, comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.